Sometimes before we can start talking about getting to content and learning and all these other pieces, you have to be able to provide young people the space and opportunity to talk about the challenges going on in their communities. I think following on the heels of our experience last year in Ferguson and in St. Louis, and the response we received from the conference attendees then, we knew that we needed to continue to ensure that the experiences that folks had, or at least that there was a space for a number of the folks that directly know and believe that their work ties into activism as educators. It's beyond just the work that we do in the classroom in terms of content and sharing that and developing, but also the spirit around young people and activating within their communities. So a lot of the injustices that existed during the civil rights movement sadly still exist now today in a lot of the communities that we serve. So we didn't want to sweep that under the rug and say that's not our focus. It's totally our focus.
Education in general has been institutionalized, and through that process has become toxic and dysfunctional for a lot of kids. And so I think going back to what we originally saw as the most effective source of education, and the fact that it was outside of the classroom, is essential. I'm Alex Bates-Lamparella, and I'm from the San Diego Met. It's my first Big Bang, so it's been a little bit overwhelming. There's so many things to choose from, but what's been the most interesting is connecting with educators and students basically from around the world and seeing their transition from a dysfunctional education system into one that supports them rather than breaks them down, basically.
One of the biggest myths about education is that it prepares kids for the real world, and that totally dismisses the fact that they are part of the real world right now.
So why the hell would we fly to Atlanta and stay up in this beautiful hotel for 3 days when you have a wealth of knowledge and history right outside these doors, in a 5-10 minute bus ride, and just be able to learn together, build community, and then take those practices back to our communities and to our young people.
If we were all to come to Atlanta and stay in this hotel that's kind of cushy and nice and not really explore the community, it feels like we've done a disservice. It's important to know where you are and where you come from, and it's important to know the people around you. And if we're going to come and take space in this community, it's really important that we respect the community by exploring it and seeing what it has to offer and seeing what it's like here.
Leaving to Learn to me at Big Bang has been leaving the classroom to experience education on levels that just can't be expressed in the classroom.
Yesterday, my Leaving to Learn was going to Atlanta's West End to learn about gentrification in Atlanta and the history of that and what caused the gentrification and where it's going and possible solutions. So we did a 4.5-hour walking tour in the hot Georgia sun. We learned a lot about the history of Atlanta and the neighborhoods we were walking through, learning about how communities have changed and evolved over the years.
Our Leaving to Learn session today was the King Center, which encompasses Ebenezer Baptist Church, which was the home church for Dr. Martin Luther King. The formal King Center, right, where it has a number of displays and exhibits that captures Dr. King's and so many other people's involvement in the civil rights movement, which was incredibly powerful and multidimensional.
At Ebenezer, in the church, my favorite part of that entire Leaving to Learn was getting to sit right in front of his pulpit. That was really moving for me. With the sermon playing in the background, you could close your eyes or look out a stained glass window and feel like he was right in front of you, and that there were so many people around you that were desperate for hope, for a passion, and then there was this energy at the pulpit that was pushing them on. So sitting there was extremely gratifying and empowering, if nothing else.
So it was really powerful, and I'd say for the 80 folks across our 4 advisories that went, I'd say for almost everyone it was their first time there, and it was quite moving. It was really a powerful experience.
Part of education, part of big picture learning is being involved in that community and making real connections with the real world, and there's no better way to know the real world than to be out there.